packaging awesome. But I'm going through it story by story now, right? I'm going through. So I started on these 5 Doctors, but I haven't. There's 3 discs, so I haven't finished that yet. I didn't start at Arc of Infinity because I remember it being kind of shit, right? But I really got to go and give it a go. So I started with my favorite story of the season, which is Snakedance, which is, and I can see what's my favorite freaking story. It is awesome. It is. The writing in that story is like beyond compare, and the acting as well. But it's Martin Clunes, who I am. I said, pull up the name of the actor, but Martin Clunes. So they always show the picture of him looking stupid in the outfit, right, when he comes out, and yeah. Where's the clip? Present video file since episode 4. Where are we up to, Doink? Is it episode 4 or 3 or 4? I can't remember. It's episode. I just watched it. Literally just watched it. Doink. See, 5th Doctor, Snakedance. Ah, oh, I haven't ripped this one yet. Over here, I got this over here. Before should play here. Oh yeah, fine. He hasn't come out in the costume yet. Here it is, and this is the one they play on every talk show he comes on, right?
Mother.
And yes, he does look a bit of a twat. I agree with you, right? It's this is probably the only poor creative choice in the whole story. It's absolutely fantastic with absolutely fantastic performances. So, where to start with this? Really, okay. So one thing I love about this is it's set on a arid desert planet, which they really recreate. They really create very effectively, I think, on a BBC set, right? Just by doing the lighting, right? And they have it. They have a there's good world building in it, and there is a cultural dress. Not everybody's dressed the same way, but there is a culture to how they dress, and it feels like it's a desert culture. So that bit of world building works well. So I've been obsessed, by the way, of working out because the production values really put people off, right? And this one would be a really easy one. Like if I had money, right, I would pay someone like Cunning Monkey. He has a great channel, right? I would do like a city desert shot right here. Second, let me show you from episode 1 when you see like the desert market. Oh, it's going to make me think about it. Thinking about it. There we go. Where is it? There you go. Right. And so yeah, you have these like again very good productions. And I haven't got to the script yet, and it is obviously done in studio. But boy, does it work! I like to take the most exciting. Like so, you could do an incredible matte shot, I would say, or whatever it's called. Well, of like a Dune or a Star Wars like city, desert city, and then zoom down to like pan down into this from the effect shot, right? And just things like that to put it into that setting, and make it widescreen, obviously, and update the effects. Not there are many effects in this that really need updating. So this is the sequel to Kinder, where we first got introduced to the Mara. And this is essentially, it's a genesis of the Mara. You find out how the Mara was created and much more on what the Mara is. But that kind of exposition really genuinely doesn't matter. It's about avarice and avarice and greed in an empire that's in decline and past its prime. Yeah, who was the cast? You got Martin Clunes as what's his name? What's the name of the character? As Lon. So he is the Federator's son. So the Federator is kind of like the Emperor. You worked it out, and you got his mother, Colette O'Neill. Just fantastic all the way through this, right? She really is fantastic, as his mother, and they're dripping with money, class, and elitism, right? and with way more power than they should have, and they living in this post Mara empire. So again, very clever world building, a very mature and adult world building by Christopher Bailey. In that he basically made like a 2,000-year history for this planet. Essentially, you had like a Menusi, you had a highly evolved civilization, right? And overnight, boom, it vanishes and replaced by a dark age for 500 years, ruled over by the Mara until it's deposed by the Federator, right? I think it was deposed by the Federation or the Federator. It doesn't really matter. But all this stuff is in ancient history now, and you had an adventure that has fallen into myth, right? And it's just, I know, there's so much depth and layeredness to this, right? It's such a clever script. And then you got the, who was it? Ambrose, John Carson. Absolutely perfect casting for this. Here, let me find a clip of him, right? He's very obsequious, very by the book, understands the legends, but doesn't believe any of them at all. Thinks they're all superstitious. Tries to convince him, and his response is just perfect. Is this episode 2? I think. Yeah. Let me find it. Okay, I think it's episode 2. So, well, you just watched it, right? It's is this it? And so good. Again, his performance is just so spot on.
Do you?
As you come to pester me with some extravagant theory you've dreamed up concerning the Mara. And should I, the director, fail to take sufficient notice of your colourful improbabilities, it will be the end of civilization as we know it, at least. How am I doing so far?
Look.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you know you're hardly the first. For some reason, the study of the Sumaran era has always attracted more than its share of cranks.
Again, such a believable and real character, and you don't feel like he's an evil character as well. So Tegan, who was already taken over by the Mara in I would say the superior Kinder, but I love Snakedance, right? It's such a great story. Has a propensity, so she's essentially taken over by Kinder again, and it kind of just brings out her worst side. But you get this, I don't know, and I'm probably reading into this kind of like milfy sexual awakening of Long, right through Tegan, right? As the Maras pass over to Long, Martin Clunes, and they plot to try and bring the Mara back. But again, he gets so much shit whenever he goes on any talk show, and his performance is brilliant in a brilliant script surrounded by brilliant actors. I mean, it's amazing how great this story is, right? It's absolutely how great the story is. So you have the order currently was called into the and Sarah Sardon. Making a documentary very good. They got especially good in it is what's his name? He's probably in here. Christopher Bailey's in it, Fiona Cumming, Peter Davison, Janet Fielding, Eric Saver. Oh no, what's his name? Rob Shearman's in it, right? Who was kind of like the wonderkind at that point. No, about 10 years earlier, at Big Finish. His insights into it I find very, very interesting. And again, it's very layered and very adult for essentially a children's audience, which I know it's a family show, but it has to be an audience that that's for children. It's a far more intelligent Doctor Who than we're used to, and I think we do have really quite some smart Doctor Who. I think World Enough in Time, I think was a very clever episode, but this is much more to get your teeth into. It's about imperialism and post-imperialism and the the need to respect one's history and heritage, right? Lots of very intensely clever, interesting ideas. So the and Peter, obviously, Peter Davison and Janet Fielding. Janet Fielding is excellent in this. So they have new effects for episode 4, and yes, it's an improvement. It's an improvement. I will say that it's not great. I mean, I'm not sure what you would do to make it great, but this is a very strong recommend. Behind the Sofa is great. You got who was it? Sylvester McCoy and Colin Baker, Janet Fielding, Peter Davison, Sarah Sutton as the other group, and Sophie. Their commentary on it is very good, but it's fun, right? It's a fun walk through a very intelligent story, and I like them being surprised at how clever it is. I think this is it was Doctor Who when it was unafraid to be very clever, and I think this is why Doctor Who always appealed to clever children, right? Children who are a bit different. It's because it's just you needed to be clever to keep up with this, right? And to appreciate all its stuff in there is a lot of stuff in it. It's a real shame we have Chris Bailey talking about it, and he just said, "I decided I didn't want to write for TV." Right, and so he didn't do anymore, which is a great pity. He did another couple of things on Big Finish. Let me see if I can find it, because I remember one of them being particularly good. Second, Big Finish, and if it's cheap, I would recommend it. Christopher Bailey, is it going to come up? If not, fine. I have to look in the collection, which is the Lost Stories. Right, it was one of those. Oh, that's another range that's gone off the boil quite considerably. Is this it? Children of Seth, Exagoria. Here we go. Children of Seth. Is there anything else by Christopher Bailey here on Big Finish? No, Children of Seth. A second, share screen. Share screen, video file. No, share screen. I've got David Warner's in. Warner. During one of Nixon's experiments, the target's temporal scanner picks up a message. Hydra, just one word, but enough for the two of the doctors to the archipelago of Sirius. There's an Ultarach is about to announce a new crusade, a mighty war against Seth, the Prince of Dark. But who is Seth? What is the secret of Quintella, Mistress, the Poisons? What awaits him on level 14? So I think, I don't want to spoil this. Man, this is expensive though. $15. That's not so bad. Who? David Warner. Oh, so it's not the Elite, right? But yeah, so this is like not connected to the Mara at all. They did. Barbara Clay. This one's great. Actually, this whole little run of Lost Stories was very good. But Cradle of the Snake was the sequel they did, and I don't think it was that successful. Right, I have to give it a re-listen. Basically, they meet. It's the Dr. Turlough and not this, Tegan crew. So it takes place right after Enlightenment, and then they meet up with Nyssa 30 years later, so she's old. So it's written by Mark Platt, and again, I have to give it another listen. And this one, the Doctor gets taken over by the Mara. It's not a massive spoiler. But that crystal that is coming out of that was again. I think that's perfect Doctor Who, right? I think it's genuinely perfect Doctor Who because it's the merger of science and dark magic, right? And that's how the Mara was created. It was a science experiment gone horror and giving rise to pure evil, right? A pure supernatural evil. Yeah, it's where science and supernatural intersect. I think they intersect brilliantly. So this disc, 100% recommend. Anything else? Oh yes. The other extra on this is when Janet met Martin, right? It was a Martin Clunes interview. It's about 10-15 minutes long. It's very good. It's like, and again, Martin Clunes should be insanely proud of his performance in this because it's pitch bloody perfect, right? It's absolutely right. And again, I am reading into it, but I do get a MILF / virgin sexual tension going on between Lon and Tegan in this, right? I do get the feeling, something between the scenes that Tegan takes makes Lon into a nearly a full federator, right? I definitely get that vibe, but maybe I've just got some my pervy content. I put a context I put into everything. So I would say on the strength of this disc alone, this box set is totally worth it. Somebody commented that, but it's got the Jodie logo on it. If you want the covers without Jodie logo on it, just get in contact. I will send them to you. Right? Actually, I haven't done season 20 yet, but I will do because the Jodie logo is an abomination, and the sooner we forget it, the absolute better. That's what I say.
My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.